Good afternoon and welcome to the news. Making the headlines tonight, Golden Tulip Hotels are going to open for business next month. Today is World Post Day. National Assembly adjourns plenary over death of 7 lawmaker. And on the foreign scene, Syrian's President al-Assad grants general amnesty to army deserters. My name is Chidima Orangwa, and now the detail of the news. Governor Willie Obiano has performed the ceremony to mark the partial opening of the completed Golden Tulip Hotels in Anambra local government area. Government House correspondent Kelechi Kwafoma now reports.
The hotel, which sits on 14 hectares of land, is a 3-story building with 81 standard rooms and presidential suites. Other key features of the hotel include a conference center, a gym, a spa, outdoor pool bar, bush bar, 6 meeting rooms, clinic, 6-hole golf course, among others. Governor Obiano, who inspected the hotel facility, expressed satisfaction with the standard of work done, saying that the hotel will fully open to business by next month. He explained that the opening of the hotel was in fulfillment of his campaign promise not to abandon any project inherited from his predecessor. The governor said the hotel will be a leading hospitality destination in eastern Nigeria, a hub for regional, national and international conferences, thereby enhancing the economy of Anambra State.
I told this facility several times. Today I told the facility again, and I was extremely impressed with the facility. MTN has already booked for almost a month to accommodate their staff here, mostly on weekends for the program they are running. And many more people are also indicated interest. Not too long from now, ESCO 2 will have some time off here to watch the ceremony.
The chairman of the State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, ANSIPA, and traditional ruler of Umoji, Igwesere Lenweze, recalled that the state government and Golden Tulip West Africa Limited signed a memorandum of understanding in May 2017 for effective management of the asset, a deal that will last for a period of 10 years with a 5-year renewable term. He further said the hotel is in line with the state's economic objectives for the hospitality industry and will also promote the rapid urbanization of its environs, stimulate tourism and increase revenue to the state.
This project, this hotel, will promote urban development and accrue revenue to Anambra State through its profit sharing arrangement with us. It will create jobs for the Anambra, including Igwe, indigenous of Agro, as it already has employed numerous state indigenes.
Also speaking, the chairman Golden Tulip Board of Directors, Professor Chukuma Soludo, represented by the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Fato Nejeme, said the Obiano administration had fulfilled its vision of making the state the first choice investment destination and a hub for industrialization and commercial activities, and the numerous hotels opening shop in the state is evident to the security thriving in the state. For the president, Golden Tulip West Africa Limited, Mr. Mechim Deli, they will deploy their wealth of experience in managing the hotel to sustain its present status of best hotel in West Africa.
At no point in this whole process did you say one thing that you didn't do. And your response time was always immediate. So I want to especially thank you for that, for the confidence that you put in my team and myself to deliver this project to you. As of today, you have put Agolo Lake on the global map.
From Golden Tulip Hotels, Agolo, I am Kelechi Kwafoma, reporting for ABS News.
The State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Sidan Adinoba, has called on journalists to uphold professionalism in their daily reportage, improve on their skills and knowledge to meet challenges of the job. The Commissioner was speaking during a meeting with the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS News editors, in his office in Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
The meeting was aimed at exchanging ideas on new trends in journalism profession as well as editorial techniques. Commissioner Nobahu disclosed that the meeting was part of arrangements to equip staff of the station for greater tasks ahead, as the state government has concluded plans on placing the station on DSTV in no distant time, charged the editors to give themselves to learning and improvement on the journalism profession so as to meet up with international demands. The commissioner, while commending the ABS for effectively projecting the government and the general public as expected, stressed the need for continuous improvement.
Nobody has achieved perfection before. Only God has. None of us is God. And none of us will feel bad if a suggestion is made on how we can improve. Do not see it as somebody is questioning your competence or your authority. That you're the director or manager doesn't make you more knowledgeable in every aspect than somebody below you. You can learn from anybody. I learned from my own cook in Lagos. You must keep on learning. Anybody who doesn't learn, who doesn't improve, is a dead person.
In a remark, the managing director of the ABS, Mr. Uchenwora, thanked the commissioner for organizing the interactive section for the station's editors, which will now be a weekly routine, and expressed hope that it will improve the output of the establishment, promising that the ABS will not let the state down.
I want to appreciate you for initiating this editorial meeting. That shows your love and care for the organization. And like you mentioned, we've entered a new season of continuous improvement. So it's about improving the quality of what we do. And hopefully, like you said, we'll be meeting, every week. And that will go a long way in improving the output.
On his part, the Director of News and Current Affairs of the ABS, Mr. Gebo Aleze, assured that the editors will put to use the new ideas generated during the meeting for better performance.
I want to promise you that all we discuss here, and just to say, is going to be very interactive. All we discuss here, we will put into practice so that ABS will be much better.
In their separate speeches, some of the ABS editors, including Mr. Abuchinwozo and Dekwiya Ajide, observed that the interaction will help to further equip the editors to discharge their duties effectively, and called for more of the government's support for the actualization of the target of the station to giving in Anambra the best of service. From the Jerome Udoji Secretariat in Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The international community is observing today as World Peace Day. In this special report, correspondent Theophilus Okoha takes a look at the importance of NIPOST in socio-economic development of the Nigerian nation. His report.
World Post Day is being celebrated to encourage everyone to take a moment to appreciate the effort of postmen and postwomen whose daily dedication is confirmation to the mission of the Universal Postal Union, which aims at delivering postal services for all to facilitate communication between all citizens. Speaking on the event, the manager Awka Postal District, Mr. Ibrahim Yakubu, said NIPOST has positioned itself as major player in global e-commerce, adding that NIPOST One Global Network approach makes the post an obvious delivery partner for business selling online.
Yes, we are going to have a roadshow to tell people about NIPOST existence and the good that NIPOST has been doing to the communities that they exist within. NIPOST has gone digital now. It wasn't like this. We have the national addressing system.
World Post Day is anniversary of the Universal Postal Union, which started 1874 in Switzerland. It was the start of the global communication revolution, which introduced the ability to write to others all over the world. World Post Day started in 1969 during a congress held in Tokyo, Japan. Since then, countries across the world participate annually in the celebration. Reliable statistics show that more than 600,000 postal outlets globally are used by private citizens and businesses to send letters, parcel, and remittances, even in some of world's remotest places. The theme for 2018 World Post Day is The Post, Delivering Good to the World.
The Obosi community during the celebration of the 7th Obiora Obosi by the traditional ruler of Obosi, Igwe Chidubemi Weka, held at Afadike Square, Obosi, showcased its rich cultural heritage. According to Igwe Weka, Obiora Obosi is a double celebration of the New Yam and the peace in Obosi Kingdom, stressing that peace paves way for development. Details from our studios. The 7th Obiora Obosi attracted who is who in Obosi, Anambra State, and beyond, among whom are the Omu of Anioma, Obi Matadunku, Igwe Chris Orano of Omo, Igwe Daniel Odoji of Orifite, and Senator Victor Ume representing Anambra Central Senatorial District. The festival commenced with the presentation of kola nuts by Ndi Nwunye Obosi, Ndi Enyi Nwanyi, and Obosi Development Union Women's Wing, with prayers by Igwe Iweka, during which he explained the significance of Obiora Obosi as a time the community celebrates peace. Homages by groups and individuals as Ndi Ichie Obosi took turns to dance to the tune of Egwota, and a host of other cultural displays heralded the traditional cutting of the New Yam by Eze Obosi, tagged Ikpo Onunu, after which the royal father fed the children of Obosi. In his speech, Igwe Iweka thanked God for a bountiful harvest with the assurance that the people will not suffer hunger from now till the next Obiora, adding that Obosi has recorded success in both human and infrastructural developments in recent times, while urging the people to allow peace to become a habitual practice in the town. He praised the intervention of the state government and the World Bank-assisted Numa project on erosion in Obosi. Earlier in a welcome address, the President General of Obosi Development Union, Deacon Ikenna Mmadubosa, described Obiora Obosi as a homecoming for all because the celebration is tied to the reconciliation of warring factions in the community, while the celebration of the New Yam, regarded as the king of all crops that sustains families, can only grow well where there is peace. In their separate speeches, Senator Mike Ajebu, the chairman, NMA Anambra State Chapter, Dr. Kandode Mmonago, and the chairperson of Ndi Enyi Nwanyi, Dr. Mrs. Vivian Onwekwe, expressed joy that the 2018 celebration of Obiora Obosi was bigger than the previous celebrations and prayed God to bless Igwe Chidubemi Weka with divine wisdom to move the community to a greater height. Others who spoke at the occasion include the member representing Idemili North at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Nkoli Mmegbu-Aneze, the SSA to the governor on IGR, Mr. Emmanuel Nwobosi, and the Omu Anioma, Obi Matadunku. The festival also featured the presentation of awards to Mrs. Ifeoma Anabogo as Ochendo Obosi for her leading role in the eradication of guinea worm, and General Charles Nnemeka Mmaduebuna for his outstanding performance in the military. Cultural displays, drama presentation, and song by Kosi Sochukwu Iweka Child Development Foundation Troop added color to the event. From Obosi in Idemili North Local Government Area, Njide Ezonyejak reporting. The claims by Nollywood actor Jim Ike that he is the chief executive officer of one of the newest Uber transport business, Mr. Taxi app, might not be true after all, with a recent disclaimer by movie director Mr. Austin Nnemeka, who said he is the developer of the app, and Mr. Kelechi Kadike, the authentic chief executive officer and the financier of the business. Ngozi Obleri has the report.
Speaking in Oka, the developer of the app, Mr. Nnemeka, accompanied by the chief executive officer, Mr. Kadike, who were flanked by the legal advisor of the group, Mr. Ifeanyi Itie, and one of the brand ambassadors of the app, Ms. Raquel Okonkwo, known as Nkoli Wansoka, said the idea of developing the app was born out of the need to bridge the gap created by the ban on commercial motorcycle in Awka and Onitsha and other parts of Southeast Zone. Mr. Nemeka said the app, which can be downloaded on a smartphone like other apps, is cheap, affordable, secured and convenient, and will provide over 500,000 direct jobs to youths, especially those who don't have vehicles. He added that a lot of investors have invested in the business by registering and supplying vehicles either on lease or through hire purchase, aimed at earning income. On why Anambra is chosen for the scheme, Mr. Nemeka said since he is from Njikoka council area of the state, he wanted Anambra to be the first beneficiaries in the zone.
Mr. Taxi is like one of these applications, but Mr. Taxi comes with more features to serve the immediate customer base here in the southeast. Now, for example, on Mr. Taxi, you can actually be where you are and book a ride for someone that is not where you are, and Mr. Taxi can bring the person to you without the hassles of calling to explain where you are, this and that. Mr. Taxi also on the Google map can tell you where you're going, approximate the time when you get there, and also show you how to bypass bad roads and hold-ups.
Contributing, the Chief Executive Officer of the app, Mr. Ukadike, said he decided to invest in the business because it is viable and service-oriented and will help in taking youths off the streets, and called on the people of the zone to embrace the app. On the ownership of the Uber, the legal advisor, Mr. Itie, said they are ready to take legal action against Jim Ike if he insists on his claims.
So there was a negotiation that we are negotiating with him to be one of the brand ambassadors, just like we have Rachel here seated with us. And a whole lot of them, celebrities that we want to put as brand ambassadors as the face of Mr. Taxi. But he took that further than what we thought and got himself to post something on the Instagram, which of course he told him to put it on. You just asked a question. Peradventure, that after this launch or this press conference, it continues. Of course, legal actions will be taken against him.
In Awka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
And over now to the national news. The National Assembly has adjourned plenary over the death of a 7th colleague, Honorable Olufunke Adedoyin of Kwara State. Plenary by both the Senate and House of Representatives were adjourned in line with the practice of the National Assembly in the case of the death of a 7th legislator. The National Assembly had earlier today resumed plenary after a long break which lasted over 2 months. They also had a closed-door session which lasted for about 1 hour. Senate President Bukola Saraki led the prayers during the commencement of the plenary at the Senate, while prayers were also said to honor the deceased lawmaker. Meanwhile, the legislative aides of the National Assembly have protested over the non-payment of salaries. The protesters stormed the National Assembly complex today, just before the lawmakers began their closed-door session. According to them, their last payment was on August 15, 2018. The protesters are also demanding for their duty tour allowance, which they say they have not collected for the past 3 years. The protesters further complained about the lack of training. And now business news. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the present administration has so far provided interest-free loans totaling 15.183 billion naira to over 300,000 beneficiaries across the state. He said the beneficiaries included traders, artisans and farmers. Osinbajo spoke at the 9th Presidential Quarterly Business Forum held at the Old Banquet Hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He said each of the beneficiaries got between 50,000 naira and 350,000 naira under the scheme. Osinbajo expressed the belief that the present administration will make a massive difference if 1 trillion naira was spent on the poor year. Osinbajo said that the government's focus had been to ensure the regulators understood their role as facilitators and not obstacles to business. As a way of achieving this, he explained that the government was also establishing one-stop shops where all regulators will be under the same roof in the states. The Vice President also said the government was working hard through Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council to improve the business environment. He added that the government has expanded the microcredit scheme to small businesses under the Government Empowerment and Enterprise Program. Moving over to entertainment, Nollywood actress Genevieve Nnaji has signed a deal with United Talent Agency UTA for representation on film, TV and production. The deal will see the actress collaborating with top Hollywood filmmakers to produce movies from Africa and Nigeria stars. UTA is one of the biggest talent agencies in the world that represents many of the world's most acclaimed figures in every current and emerging area of entertainment and media, including motion pictures, television, music, digital broadcast news, books, theater, video games, fine arts, and live entertainment. The agency is also globally recognized in the areas of film finance, film packaging, branding, licensing, endorsements, and representation of production talent. Nnaji, who's one of the highest paid actresses in Nollywood, has starred in a slew of Nigerian features, including EJ, The Journey, Tango With Me, Dr. Bello, Half of a Yellow Sun, and Road to Yesterday, a film that marked her first outing as a producer. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has granted a general amnesty for men who deserted the army or have avoided military service. A decree established in the media said the amnesty applies to men inside and outside the country and covers all punishment for desertion. Men inside Syria will have 4 months to take advantage of the amnesty, while those outside will have 6 months. The move could help boost the return of refugees, some of whom have not been able to go back home because they were blacklisted. Under Syrian military law, deserters can face years of prison if they leave their post and do not report for service within a set amount of time. While the amnesty covers desertion, it does not cover fighting against the government or joining the rebels who are regarded by the Syrian government as terrorists. Syria's conflict began in 2011 after the mass uprising against Assad's rule met a brutal government crackdown. The violence escalated and the country descended into a civil war that has claimed up to 500,000 lives. Many soldiers deserted, some to join the rebels and others to escape the fighting. More than half of the pre-war population fled their homes. About 5 million went abroad and millions of others were displaced internally, creating one of the worst refugee crises of the modern times. The decree comes at the time when government forces have managed to capture wide areas once held by rebel fighters, including in southern Syria and the eastern suburbs of the capital, Damascus. The flashpoint in Syria is now the country's northwestern province of Idlib, the last remaining stronghold of rebels. In our sports, in the years past, football fans were mostly in just for the fun. But today, the story appears different as many became fans for financial and other material gains. In this special report, Equiagide takes a look at the betting angle to soccer.
With the introduction of viewing centers many years ago, a lot of people have joined football fan clubs to make ends meet. This is because such centers turned betting outlets are usually filled to capacity with people who are anxiously waiting for the outcome of their bets. Many times, a walk into such centers reveal both the young and old as viewers. The question now is, are they viewing for the love of the game or for the anticipation of a win? And do they usually win? A civil servant, Mr. Chiedozie says he bets to augment his salary and has completed his building in his village through one of his wins. For Prince Chike, he only uses his change for betting so as not to be disappointed if he loses.
I spent not less than 5K.
Wow.
5,000.
And you lost?
I lost. But last 2 weeks I won 20,000.
After?
With 100 naira.
Ms. Onyeka Uche said he has spent over 5,000 naira within the week without a single win.
I myself, I love football, I'm the kind of person that, used to play it. And I'm the kind of person that used to watch football. That's the reason why I came, I didn't watch football, I couldn't have been here, So somebody that does not know anything about football, I didn't advise him to come over. Because you might see something that will not benefit you or will not like. You can't be able to bear it.
Analysts say that most of such desires for quick wealth could be attributed to the value placed on affluence in this part of the globe. In Oka, Ekwi, Ajide, ABS News.
And that's it on the news. But before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website, www.absradiotv.com. You can also like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now the main points of the news again. Golden Tulip Hotels Eglo will open for business next month. Governor Obiano disclosed this while performing a ceremony to mark partial opening of the facility. Today is World Post Day. National Assembly has adjourned plenary over death of a 7th senator lawmaker. And on the foreign scene, Syrian President al-Assad has granted general amnesty to army deserters. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Chidinma Oranwa. Have a wonderful night rest.